Ravens defense. Should we retool? Can we be better than last year? We were pretty epic, so how can we take it to the next level? We're going to talk about this and a couple of things more, doing a deep dive on the defense coming right out. Hey guys, my name is Sunny. Welcome to SG Sports. And if this is your first time in this channel and you love some Ravens content, please subscribe now and hit the bell so you can stay up to alert every time you upload a video. And it's important because we're going to be doing a lot of live streams. We're going to do a lot of videos. As you know, off season is here. You guys know I love to doing a deep dive on draft. And we're going to be doing free agency in the next couple weeks as free agency starts to come. Also, if you have free agency draft comments, please go ahead, DM me on Twitter, IG, Facebook, whatever is easier. And last but not least, this is a giveaway video. So put your comments down. What defensive upgrade should we make? Okay, so we're gonna go through the depth chart. I'm gonna read it just in case I don't forget anybody. And then from there, we're gonna see who's free agent, who we should bring, who should we target, and all that. By the way, you can see this. It's on the szg Sports webpage. You can go ahead and get it. Not szg Sports webpage. It's on the merch store. There's gonna be a link down below. Okay, let's go on. The ends. We have Wormley, Jelly, Kamula, and then we have Brandon Williams. It's like a RD, but it's more as D tackle. Anyway, in my opinion, we had to upgrade on the end. I think we definitely need to upgrade on the end. So this is a position that I can see us upgrading. This is a position, I know we talk a lot about outside rushers. I'm okay if we keep Judon and then left Fergie and Bowser as the 3, and then put a guy like Chris Jones, right? So we're gonna talk about that later. Nose tackles, Pierce. I don't think we're gonna bring him. So that's the first. Pecco, I think Pecco won't be bad if we bring him on the cheap, especially if you have Dalen Mack on behind him, and you can have Mack and Pecco being the nose tackle, and then you have Brandon Williams and Patrick Ricard and the D tackle, the end position, that 3-4 defense. Then you have the outside linebackers, right? You have Judon, you have McPhee, and Adoyi. I don't know, guy that never play. And then, where's the other outside linebacker position here? Yeah, Fergie, Jihad Ward. So Ward, they have it here as a linebacker. That's not true. He never plays linebacker. He plays in the line. So I think a guy like Jihad Ward is a guy that we should keep for sure. I think he played good enough. He's 26. He should provide depth to that D-line. I actually will not mind him there in that LDE rotating with Wormley. And Tyus Bowser, right? So Fergie, it's essentially you have Fergie, Tyus Bowser, and Judon. McPhee, can you bring him? I mean, for cheap, maybe, potentially. But it's not a guy that you want to count on him like we were doing early in the year, because he's getting up there in age. And then you have your middle linebacker. Owasso, he gone. Josh Bynes maybe back. I'm not sure. LG Force back. We extended him. Alaga, he was on IR. We'll see what he can do. Bohr obviously underperformed this year. Decent special teams, but that's the extent. He couldn't break the team or the starting role. And then so that's the front, right? The front 7. Now let's check the secondary, which is where we have our strength. I forgot to mention we have around 29 mil in cap space. So for our secondary, we have Marlon Humphrey, obviously a starter. We have Jimmy Smith. I think a potential comeback depending on contract, how that contract looks. Marcus Peters, obviously we extended him. B-Car, I think we let him go. That's a $6 million savings. Iman Marshall, rookie deal, he'll be back. And then Tavon Young and Avery. So you have, and I apologize because I'm battling some sickness. You have a good secondary already. You bring Jimmy Smith, let B-Car go. You're good. You're set. You have depth. Yeah, young guys, but young guys need to step up. Avery will be going to his 3rd year. It's time for him to show some strides. And in March of his 2nd year, I'm expecting him more to be like a gunner or something like that in the special teams. Safety wise, you have Tony Jefferson. Was in IR. He's my boy, but I think you're gonna cut him. Chuck Clark played hell of a good year, so you keep him and you bring him back. Tradewick, special teams if you want him. And then you have Earl Thomas. Obviously, you have him back. You can kind of cut him. Cap White. I start with Cap White's prohibited, but second, I thought he played good. I think he's a good free safety. Levine, that's a difficult one. I'll bring him just for the special teams portion of it because I'm expecting Deshaun Elliott to be more in his role if he stays healthy. That's the problem with Elliott. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. So there's your roster. Now, who is a free agent for the Ravens, right? So let's talk free agency. So Jimmy Smith, is that a guy that you want to bring? He was getting paid 10.2 last year. I think if you bring him for 6 or 7, I can see the argument for that. Brandon Carr, cutting him will release $6 million, so I think he's gone. Michael Pierce, so Spock Track here has a $5 million per year value. I think he's getting close to 10. I don't think he is a guy that you bring back. Also, remember, he had the weight problems. I don't think Harbaugh appreciates that. I think Harbaugh likes Pierce, but I don't think you can trust him with that money. Peanut looked frustrated at the end of the year. I think he's done for the Ravens. You'll find a team, but not in Baltimore. Anthony Levine, that's the guy that I said you bring him for special team purposes. If you cannot bring him, then that's what you can open the door for Tradewick. McPhee, on a premium deal, 1-year deal, cheap. He's 31. You cannot depend on McPhee. If you bring him, he is a rotational guy. Same thing with Pecco. If you bring Pecco, he's more of, hey, Dylan Mack, you need a breather, get out. And you had to bring more D tackles because Breedwell can, be a nose tackle from here and there, but you need to have somebody else. Josh Bynes, I think you could bring him again, and it's cheap. The reality is neither him, McPhee, I want them to bring him right away. We'll see. And nobody's going to be running to get them. Both of them were on the street after the year started. And after that, Jelly's a guy that, he really didn't show much. But your Hot War, like I said, that is your guy. That's the guy that, in my opinion, you should bring. You're not going to break the bank. You can probably get away with Vetman or like a $2 million per year for the next 2 years. Like 2 years, $5 million, for example. And I think that will be good for him. And then Matt Judon, and then Judah's value, again, for Spot Track, has him at 16.3. If you get him for 16.3, I'm all in. The reality is, as I mentioned before, and I know a couple of guys had come to me like, well, but him and Smith are different guys. I agree. I always say Smith is more of an inside rusher, plays better. Judon plays more like a pure outside rusher, so he rushes. He does a great job bending. He does set the edge, but he also goes back on coverage. So Judon does more than what C's position is meant for you to rush the passer more. But in the case of Judon, he does more. Anyway, if you take Za'Darius last year and Judon's last year in Baltimore, Judon's this year, Judon have performed better than Za'Darius did the year before. And Judon had more sacks, more forced fumble, more tackles. So based on all that, Judon's going to look and say, like, Ravens, at minimum you have to offer, in my opinion, you have to offer me 17.5. And probably it's going to be closer to 18. The Ravens want to do that. Somebody in free agency might do that. The reality is, as we're going to go check the free agent market, there is more pass rushers. So that might help the Ravens to lower that price. But I don't think it's going to be less than 17.5. So if for this list, Judon on the right price, I will bring you how worse. He's going to be non-expensive. I will bring him. I think he brings good depth. And Jimmy Smith on a good contract. That's it. The rest, Levine for, special teams potentially. Okay, but that's it. That's the people that I will bring from the current Ravens roster. Now let's talk a little bit about free agency and how it's looking. So before I talk about free agency, let's look here at the cap. Like I said, we have, according to over the cap right now, 28.9 mil free money or on cap space. You have Earl Thomas. Again, you're not gonna cut him. For the people, whoever tells you we should cut Earl Thomas doesn't know what it's talking about. Currently, Earl Thomas cap hit is 15 mil. You cut him is 25. Doesn't make sense. It's stupid, and he played good. Same thing for Peters. Obviously, we just extended him. Now, first, plus little cap casualty. Brandon Williams, I don't see it, but there's a $4.3 million saving, 9.8 hit. I don't think this is the year to cut Big Baby. I think we keep him. Ronnie's the fourth, but I think Ronnie's a good year to extend him. Ronnie, I think, is going to be this is, again, opinion based, but 5 years, 100 mil with 60 mil guarantee. Best left tackle in the league. Young. You can elevate that cap hit and flatten out the rest. This is where I think is going to be your first cap casualty. Tony Jefferson, 11.65 mil. If you cut and you save 7, there's going to be a hit of 4.65. I think Tony, although I love him, I think he has to go. Marshall Yanda, you keep, obviously if he's staying, you keep him. If he decides to retire, you save 7 mil. Tavon Young, it costs you to cut him. It costs you $1.5 million. Obviously, you want him back if he was good when he played. I thought that contract was a little premature, but independently, it happens. There's another cap casualty. It's a club option. It's not even cut, so you just don't pick the option. But Brandon Carr, 1 mil hit, 6 mil savings. So if you think between those two, 13 mil right there. After that is Nick Boyle's need. Snead's contract has no cap savings, so you're not gonna cut him. Mark Ingram has a 2 mil cap saving. I doubt that they cut him. After here, the next guy that I can see is Jalen Hurst, or James Hurst. There's a 2.7, and then RG3 I think I had like a 2 mil. That's about it. So we're talking about potentially for 17.5 mil that we can open in cap space from 4 players that you might not use at all next year, right? So let's go with, we have probably start free agency 40. I think Ronnie might eat 5 or 6 of that, but let's go with 40, assuming nothing else, right? Okay, free agency. So we are talking about Javanian Clown is going to be one of the top free agents guys. Market value, according to Spot Track, is 20 mil. 20 mil, hell no. Injury history, numbers don't support 20 mil, but numbers might not. I haven't checked the analytics, but if I check the analytics, probably is crazy because this bad boy, it is destructive. I saw 3 or 4 games from the Seahawks, and this guy was living in the backfield, always pressuring, but nobody else in Seattle was doing anything else. So after him, if we go specifically on the outside linebackers position, right? You have Dante Fowler. He's okay. He's young. After that, Terrell Suggs. Even bringing him back. Shaquille Barrett. That's a big one. He is looking to get as much pay as he wants. He says 15.7. If you can get him for 15, that's hell of a deal. I don't trust it because it was a 1-year thing, and if you're gonna get him 3-year guarantee, I'm not big on that. That's just me. I like the guy, but I have problems with just giving all that money. Bud Dupree, a guy that only played good the last year, is in the same boat in my opinion. 16.6. I wouldn't give it to him. Jamie Collins, a guy that has been playing good. 8.8. If he can play outside linebacker for your team, 8.8 is not bad. He has been a hell of a player. Last year, and then and after that, we're talking about just a bunch of unless I'm missing anybody, there's a bunch of names. Now, if we go the tackle here, let's see, because that's a possible position. Marcus Darius, Michael Pierce, like I said, Jordan Phillips, Shelby Harris. Shelby Harris is great on play volleyball. He bats a lot of balls, but Danny Shelton, that's another guy that if you're gonna bring, you can bring instead of Pierce if you want to. Hargraves from Pittsburgh, 14.7. That's a lot though. I wouldn't pay that. Steelers don't have money to pay anybody. Currently, they have 1.8 under the cap, so they had no money. Like I said, again, just a bunch of names. Nothing. You guys might say, oh, and Ndamukong Suh or something like that. Yeah, I mean that's a cheap contract, and Ndamukong Suh he will try to squeeze every penny, but it's not like he's gonna break the bank. You have guys like Derek Wolfe, Ansah, Daryl McCoy. I know he tried last year. I don't know if you're gonna try this here. Leonard Williams is an interesting guy. He can play that DN position that I was saying. He's gonna get paid. It says 8.2. I think it's gonna be more to 10. Robert Quinn. I'm not a big fan of Robert Quinn. Chuck Lawson. It's a good player from Buffalo. 7.6. Also more of a just performed well in the past year and a half. But here's the big boy, 26-year-old Chris Jones, 19.2. That is a guy that if he can get him, I will be ecstatic. You put him there in that 3-4 DM position, and you put Big Will, and then you put Mac, right? Or with Pecco or Pico, and you're good. Now you have your 3. Now, I said we gotta start at 40. He's sucking almost 20. The other 20, if you're gonna keep Judon, that's probably 16 or 18. But the other guy that people talk about is Ngakoue. So the question is, if you can have one, will you take Ngakoue or you take Judon? Ngakoue is younger. I will say Ngakoue is the guy that I will go over Judon. Better numbers. It could have been schemed. But look, I'm saying all this. You bring Ngakoue for almost 20. You bring Chris Jones for almost 20. Now you have 5 or 6. We haven't talked about cap casualties. There's a guy that I love that if it is a cap casualty, you bring. It's a cheaper version of Chris Jones. And his name is, I think it was the co-MVP over there in the Pro Bowl, which was unwatchable. I watched 3 snaps and I was like, nope, I'm done with this. This is unwatchable. No need this in my life. Calais Campbell. Now think about this. If they cut Campbell, right, he's going to be like a 4 mil. Not much. 5 mil. I don't know. Something like that. Let's put it 7. 7 mil. You have B. Will. You can get Ngakoue. And you can keep Judon. That is a nasty D-line. Now, your D tackle, nose tackle suffering, but maybe you can get somebody in the draft. Maybe a guy like Pecco or, Dylan Mack can have like a step up. Maybe you can go and kick in Brandon Williams, and then you have a guy like Fergie maybe using as a 3-4 at the end. I don't know if he's big enough, but, you have possibilities. So if Campbell's a free agent, that's the guy you target. I think he will be a great fit in here. Now, let's talk about the other player that I can see this team, the other position that I can see this team targeting is inside linebacker. Yes, and they're gonna get other free agents. They're just middle of a pack, not great, Okay, so for middle linebacker, you had Danny Trevathan. That is a guy that is not going to break your bank, and you can bring him, you can plug it in, and he can be good. The other guy is Corey Littleton. Littleton is 26. He's going to break the bank, in my opinion. He's going to get good pay. We talk about he had 4 sacks, 5 QB hits, 2 forced fumble, 2 interceptions last year. Again, let's say you can bring a guy like Calais Campbell. You can be Ngakoue. That is going to be like 24. If you can bring Littleton and give him 14, now you're talking 14 plus 4, 18. No. If he's a 14, 22, and let's say Ngakoue is close to 20, that's 30, 38 mil. So that's another combo that you can bring. Or Judon with Littleton and Calais. I think we need to upgrade that 3-4, and I think Calais Campbell, if he gets cut, he is. If not, Chris Jones, for sure. He is the best player. But Littleton is a good one. But if you cannot break the bank, again, I think we're in a win now mentality. I'm good with, if we cannot get Littleton, Trevathan's going to get 6. Look, you get 6 from Trevathan. You get 6 or 7 from Campbell. That's 12. And then if you bring in Ngakoue, that's 20. And Judon, 20. Yes, you need to figure out the cap. You're set. You are set. Front 7 is nasty. You have good linebacking play. You got good outside linebacker play. Your secondary is already set. Guys, this could work. And after that, it's just, just a bunch of players. Blake Martinez. I know a lot of people talk about Blake Martinez. I'm not convinced about Blake Martinez. Darren Lee. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, again, I think position that we need to upgrade, DN, D tackle, possible D tackle, D end for sure. Maybe one outside linebacker and middle linebacker. You need to play with those players. We can sign one-time big player if we keep Judon. If we don't keep Judon, then you have space for 2. But I think how you work this is you can get a guy like Trevathan, not gonna break the bank, and if you get a guy like Campbell, not gonna break the bank, 2 guys that can contribute still, and then you get one big signing on the other side. Hey, Ngakwe and Campbell are boys. Maybe you can bring them both. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, follow me on IG, Facebook, Twitter at szg.sports. Don't forget, every Tuesday we do live stream, and usually we take phone calls. There's some days that we have special guests and we cannot take phone calls, but for the most part we do. Please join, have fun, and I will see you next time. Peace out, big trust.